everybody. Just another manic Monday. It's an active Monday, prompting another weather alert. I'm meteorologist Jason Mikell alongside my sidekick, Terry Eliasen.
Sidekick, I like that.
Yeah, my sidekick.
All right, how are you? Yeah, another, here we go, Monday. Rain, wind, and we've had a little bit this morning. I don't know about you, but the commute was a little dodgy coming in. A lot of accidents, Brianna was reporting this morning. But tonight, I think, especially after the commute, is when things really peak.
Yeah, things are going to really be ramping up here. Even around 4 or 5 a.m., it was dry as a bone, and things really started to deteriorate around 6 a.m. earlier this morning with a lot of those accidents Brianna was telling you about. So let's go in and also start to talk about what this weather alert means. We're talking about rain and wind, and not just a little bit. We're talking about a lot of it as well. 2 to 3+ inches of rain, friends, arriving over the next, let's say about 18 to 24 hours or so. I think a lot of the rain is going to be winding down around midday tomorrow. But notice that wind gusts are going to be running fairly high later on this evening. We're talking about 50 to 60+ mile-per-hour gust. And of course, with poor drainage areas, rising streams, rivers, and whatnot, that is also going to pose a heavy burden on the travel commute for later today, with a lot of the impacts ramping up overnight.
Yeah, so I would say probably the two biggest concerns here are the flooding from the rainfall and the wind damage. And again, most of this, the heaviest of which coming between, say, 7 p.m. and 5 a.m. to overnight tonight. So yeah, it could be one of those loud evenings if you're trying to get to sleep and either the rain pounding on the roof, or maybe a little bit of thunder. There's certainly the wind roaring in. Definitely going to be an impactful overnight for sure. And we're not dry today. Obviously, we've got some rain showers coming in. This is the radar right now. You see sort of a band coming through Worcester, approaching Boston. But again, we expect the heaviest to come with the cold front that is still a ways off to the west here.
Oh.
We'll pull out and see that.
I've kind of been talking about rounds of moderate to heavy rain here, Terry. You can see we got a lot still unfolding down in the south, everybody. And if you can make it out here over towards Chicago, the Michigan area, they had blizzard conditions earlier this morning. And on the backside of that area of low pressure, we're talking about significantly colder temperatures all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Out ahead of the front, severe weather threatening the areas from Florida all the way up through New York. Now, meanwhile, with Boston, we're sort of in a lower tier of severe weather activity for us here, but a tornadic outbreak is going to be likely across the mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, really highly impactful weather system. I mean, when you think about it, I don't want to say we're lucking out by any means, but certainly you know, we're not in the severe weather corridor here, which you can see is sort of the middle of Pennsylvania down through the Virginia, Carolinas. We're not in the blizzard area up in the upper Midwest. So,
thank Lord.
Right. So just a very, very impactful March storm for a lot of folks, you know, based in the eastern half of the country. So yeah, it'll be an active weather day all the way down through DC, again, for the Virginias. These are the current tornado watches, all that in yellow. There's a tornado watches up for probably 1,000 miles or so of real estate, you know, stretching from Florida all the way up through parts of the mid-Atlantic. And so we will not be getting in on that severe weather. Thankfully. I mean, we could hear a few rumbles overnight. I think our main concern is just the amount of rain that's falling and where's it going to all go. You can see Futurecast sort of show some showers, some downpours here and there, and then all of a sudden, after the evening commute or around the evening commute, it really starts to fill in, and heavy rain just about for the entire area here, and it keeps going. It persists for hours overnight, sort of in waves, like you were saying. You know, this is 11 p.m. and then we go on forward, and there could be one final burst, I think, you know, just after midnight that could bring down some of the strongest winds. A lot of the strong winds are just over our heads aloft, and when you get these really heavy downpours, it enables the atmosphere to drag down those strong winds to the ground level, and I think that's what's going to happen overnight tonight.
It's amazing to see how large this storm system was. We were talking about the blizzard conditions over in the Midwest. We got the severe threat from Florida all the way up through New England as well, and we have a lot of this sort of compression happening, friends, from the spine of Appalachia over to the Atlantic coast, and that is allowing for very high. I wouldn't say very high, but really warmer than average temperatures, at least 15 to 20 degrees warmer than average, at least just for us here in New England. A lot of other locations are going to be sort of kind of feeling the 70s, and I don't think necessarily the 80s because of the cloud deck, but you have very different air masses unfolding over the next 24 hours, and it's helping to precipitate a lot of this very active weather.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. You're talking about you know, in the span of 500-600 miles, you've got blizzard conditions and tornadoes. So think of atmospherically what must be going on to enable all that to happen. Really potent system here. For so many folks. And as you can see, these rainfall amounts, this is just one computer model. I think this is from here on out. probably a little low across eastern Mass on this model. I think everyone's going to get another inch or two at least, maybe even 3 or 4 in some spots. Just looking at that Futurecast that we just showed you, you can see with all that heavy stuff coming through, not going to be hard to get, another 3 inches of water in some areas, and that's why.
And typically, it only takes one good downburst or whatnot, the downpour that can really sort of take that above that 2 to 3 inch marker there. And obviously, as Tara has mentioned, because we have some of the heavy rain arriving later today, that is prompting a flood watch for the region. And that's going into effect through early tomorrow morning. Now let's talk about some of the river levels, everybody here. Obviously, we are on the Atlantic coast here, so we have a lot of things funneling into the bay. So we are really keeping a close eye on a lot of the river levels in the area, especially east of Worcester County, areas north into the Merrimack Valley, areas south, down towards the Taunton-Norwood region. This is just something to be mindful of, especially when visibility is low. Downpours are imminent. And as I say, it only takes one good sort of cell that can really cause the downpours and allow for things to rise. So drainage areas, if you know of a drainage area that may or may not be clogged, maybe just give it a little bit of a push. If it got some debris on it as well, make sure that everything can properly drain. Yeah, it's the smaller, so at the outset, like when it's happening, it's the smaller creeks, the little streams that are near you that can flood quickly. And then some of the larger rivers, like we're noting here, the Sudbury River, there's the Dover, there's several larger rivers that we'll be watching, but those tend to flood. It takes a little bit longer. So in the days that follow, so by tomorrow on Wednesday, we'll be updating you on how some of the large rivers are doing. But just overnight tonight, if you live in a house that when we get a lot of rain, if you typically get flooding, this could be one of those nights. If your basement typically floods, this could be one of those nights. If you live near a creek that overflows, just be aware that overnight tonight could be a rough night for you. And then if that's not enough, the winds are going to be howling tonight as well. You can see the darker orange across eastern Mass, indicating high wind warnings for basically the entire eastern portion of Massachusetts. I call it mustard. Okay, there you go. I know we're joking a little bit, everybody. We're just trying to make light of that. It actually is a pretty serious event here with the flood watch as well as the high wind warnings as well. Some of the highest winds are going to be east of 495, especially 95. This includes Boston and also the South Shore, Cape, and the islands. Winds right now are roughly around the 30 and maybe 40, depending on where you are, the Outer Cape and Nantucket. But winds began to dial up around 6 a.m. earlier this morning, and it's kind of been gusty around that 30 to 40 mile per hour range on Nantucket all morning long. But it's not going to stop there, okay? We keep pressing on the fact that we are expecting winds to climb even further. And of course, with the flood risk and the high winds, we're talking about power outages and we're talking about hampered travel. Yeah, so basically anytime overnight tonight, the entire eastern portion of Massachusetts could be gusting 40 to 60, 65 miles an hour. Just really, I would assume the limbs down, like you said, chance for power outages, definitely highly impactful overnight. And even tomorrow, the winds are much less, but it is a gusty afternoon tomorrow. We're still gusting 20 to 30 miles an hour or a little bit more. So if there are outages, going to make it hard for a lot of those crews to get out and get up on those ladders. So here's just some things. Now, again, the storm has sort of already started. We're already getting some rain, but there's still time. If you live in an area where, or a home where, you can clear out your gutters, clear out the storm drains, it's not too late. Again, with most of this coming overnight tonight. So, and if you got any of those St. Patty's Day decorations up, maybe you just stuck them around the yard, you might want to bring them inside or weigh them down with something, or else it could be your neighbor's property after tonight. You know what I'm saying? It could. And even a trash can. Remember to bring a trash can in as well. There you go. Yeah, and if you do have a sump pump, if it's something that you get during storms that typically you need one, you might want to just give it a test. Really, just if you live near a river or creek that typically floods, just be prepared. That's all we can really say. If there's a river or stream near you that typically floods into your home, you certainly are aware of it, and tonight could be one of those nights. So there you have it. St. Patty's Day, a much quieter day tomorrow after all that. And spring, actually, the official vernal equinox is on Friday this week. We sort of have a 12-hour split already today. 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of nighttime again today. Spring equinox again officially begins on Friday, everybody. We're sort of kind of allowing for temperatures to cool off behind the system once we get to midday tomorrow. So look at overnight lows between Tuesday night and Wednesday. We're getting cold again, okay? But we're at the bottom of the trough there on Wednesday. It's the coldest day of the next 7. We're going to be keeping a close eye on that day, especially if there's any concerns. A lot of the deep south will we'll be dealing with freeze warnings down there. We're going to be going into the 40s near normal again on Thursday, and then likely fairly mild for the first day of spring on Friday. A bit unsettled as of right now, but we still have days to kind of track the spot rain chances for the upcoming weekend, but both days looks to be in the mid to upper 40s. Yeah,
so I think the good news after this storm passes, there's not a big rainstorm that's going to follow it. So we do have time. The rivers will rise over the next few days, and they'll have time to recede a bit. We'll see what happens with the next weekend. It definitely looks unsettled. I don't know that there's going to be anything like no major storms, just a couple of sort of things passing through. So we'll stay on top of it, obviously, tonight with Eric Fisher, and you'll be back early tomorrow for any what's happening. But just be prepared tonight, overnight tonight, if you're traveling, or again, if you live in a home that's susceptible to flooding, it's going to be one of those nights tonight. So stay safe.
As my dad would say, we'll get after it. All right, everybody, be safe here. Remember all the watches and alerts. We'll talk about it today at noon. And of course, we have the blog updated on WBZnews.com, so go there as well. And the Chief will be on deck later on this evening. Have a great and safe Monday, everybody.